Hey guys, I'm back. Did a video earlier this afternoon out by the pool. In reference to the fentanyl subject I was talking about, I want to go a little deeper and tell you about an incident that I experienced, that I witnessed, that I was involved in. And yes, Hollister might be out of style, but I like Hollister. Bite me, okay? Anyway, I want to talk about attorney Richard E. Wolfson, okay? Wolfson. I got a call, a 911 call, Park Avenue, apartments behind the chiropractor office there. And I got a call there, and when I got there, somebody came to the door, a man, and he said, he's up here. And I said, who's up there? And he said, we don't know. And I said, okay. So I walked upstairs, a guy laying on his back. I tried to resuscitate him in front of a female and attorney Richard E. Wolfson and another young man. So he was dead. So I'm sorry, that's just what he was dead. His name was Eric Deer. Okay, this happened, and then in 2000, this happened 2001. Okay, so when I got there, I noticed, you put your head on a swivel. I noticed a pair of boots, okay? And I looked at the feet of the attorney and the female and the other male there. And I looked at the boots that were on the, by the couch, okay? Those boots were bigger than all the three, but they did match the size of the victim, okay? So, anyway, I said, what happened? And they all just start talking at once. Well, if you're an attorney and you're going to have something, you're going to do drugs in your office, home, and you can't get your story straight before you do it, that's a problem. That's a problem. What are you thinking? You might be miscombobulated there. But anyway, so I went upstairs, found the victim on his back on the floor. Nobody said anything, right? So I noticed the boots, and the guy that was in the floor, the victim, Eric Deer, was barefoot, and he was wet. Okay, so I said, what happened? The attorney says, well, this barefoot guy came to my door and said for me to call 911, and then he walked up the steps and collapsed. Well, think about that, okay? He comes barefoot, and he says call 911, and then he walks up 9 or 11 steps and collapses. Oh, honey, I don't think so. If he would have come to somebody's door barefoot and dying, he would have collapsed before he even got to the door, and somebody in the neighborhood would have found him. Okay, but yet he did climb 9 to 11 steps and then collapse. So anyway, nobody wanted to say anything, so that's fine. EMTs came, and the fire department came, and we rolled his body over. I helped roll his body over. And he had four square cuts out of his epidermis, top layer of skin, and 4 bloody patches there. Okay? So anyway, I start looking around. Another officer's there, and I'm not going to mention his name. He may not want to be involved, but this is the truth, and this was in my report back in 2001. Okay, and I have a copy of all my reports. Okay, so anyway, we took the officers. Other officers took them. I was the first one there, so it was my scene. The other officers took the other 2 people out, or they stood there by them while I looked through the house. So anyway, I went in the trash can, and there was gauze and a pocket knife with blood on it, and there was a all kinds of, like a razor and all that, with blood on it, in the trash can. Okay? In the trash can. Okay? So, went back in there. We rolled him over, and he, like I said, he had those 4 patches out. There was 4 gauze patch in the, his dad, let me just cut to it. His dad cut the top layer of his skin off and said, hey, son, this will get in your system quicker. And put 4 fentanyl patches on him. Killed him. Then what do? Why was he wet? They threw water on him. They were all messed up, so they didn't know what to do. They just sit there, right? That's called the police. Well, you know. I said, whose boots are those? I don't know. I said, well, they're not yours. They're not hers. They're not his. Whose boots are those? And I put the boot up to his body, his foot. I said, they're his boots. You said he came here barefoot. Did he come here barefoot or not? Okay. Let me tell you something. So in 2010, Richard E. Wolfson begged the court to give him his license back as an attorney, okay? Now, you're talking about this happened in 2000. He was convicted of obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence, okay? Which he did. He tampered with evidence, and he obstructed justice because he didn't tell the truth, and he was an attorney. Surprise, huh? Okay, so anyway, he got, he got disbarred, and he did whatever, and I'll go in depth about that. But in 2010, and I've got the article, and I'll be posting it. I just want to touch base with it a little bit about tonight because it related to the fentanyl situation I just talked about earlier. But he has his license back, and now he's a practicing attorney in Portsmouth, okay? Now, if you guys don't get the whole concept of Portsmouth and Ironton and the whole thing, that's a problem. That's a problem, okay? So if you're involved in a death and an overdose as an attorney, you know, it took me 14 years to get a misdemeanor 1 expunged. And he gets, after 8 years, his bar license back. Google him. Richard E. Wolfson. Association Bar against Richard E. Wolfson. He is practicing law in Portsmouth, Ohio. Okay? You guys, I'm telling you what. How can you get those charges sealed, not expunged, just sealed, completely sealed after 8 years, and it takes me 14 years to get a misdemeanor 1 expunged? A misdemeanor 1 that I was forced to sign that I did, okay? I think we all can go back to the whole lawsuit thing, and that's just Google, okay? But anyway, I'll be going in real depth about old Richard. I hated that about Eric Deere, and, you know, but come on, son, and this will get in your system quicker, you know? That's what the girl said. Well, it did, and it killed him. How many people were involved in that? 8 years, and he gets his license back. That's a problem, don't you think? So anyway, there is so much going on here, and I'm going to try to, I know I say this all the time, but it's always something like, I don't know what it is. Every time I get to some certain obstacle and I cross it or jump it or go around it, there's one more waiting. That's just life. But if he's your attorney and he was involved in somebody's overdose, that's not a good thing, I don't think. I'm not trying to ruin his reputation, but it is what it is. So on the internet, it's all public record. I'm not telling you anything you can't find out. Use your phone. Quit looking at barns and flowers, and watch what's going on your phone. Quit playing games. Quit playing the casino games. I hope to get 70 cents. Quit playing all that. Watch on your phone what's happening in your city and in your county. Okay? We are being controlled, and entitlement is way out there. Entitlement. Entitlement. Okay, I'll end it with that. Death risk. God bless. Be back soon.